The morning air was crisp, and the city streets were already alive with hurried footsteps and impatient horns. Amid the rush stood a small wooden cart, painted but worn, carrying rows of fresh brown eggs stacked neatly in straw. Behind it stood Adam, a single father and veteran. His military days had left scars both visible and invisible. He had seen enough loss for a lifetime, but these days, his battles weren't fought with rifles, they were fought in quiet moments, selling eggs to keep food on the table for his daughter, Lily. He didn't complain. Life had stripped him of much, but it had also given him the simple joy of watching Lily smile. That was enough. But that day, something happened that would change everything. As Adam was handing eggs to an old woman, a sleek black car slowed beside his cart. The tinted window rolled down, and for a moment, Adam braced himself for the usual disdainful glance from the wealthy. But instead, he saw eyes piercing, tired, and strangely hollow. Moments later, the door opened. A driver unfolded a wheelchair, and out stepped Ida, or rather, was lifted a woman. She was dressed in elegance, the kind of woman the world would call untouchable, Catherine Hayes, CEO of a billion-dollar empire. Newspapers often wrote about her, the Iron Lady in a wheelchair. They painted her as ruthless, unbreakable. But up close, Adam saw something the headlines never captured, a loneliness heavier than the chair she sat in. Catherine approached his cart slowly, her voice softer than he imagined. "How much for a dozen?" $2, Adam said, steady but respectful. She studied him for a moment, almost as though she was searching for something in his eyes. Then she pulled out a bill far larger than needed and placed it in his hand. "You've given me more than eggs today," she whispered. Adam frowned. "Ma'am, I don't have change." Her lips curved into the faintest smile. "Keep it. I think a broken bar you need it more than I do." And then she left, her chair rolling back into the car. That night, Adam thought about her words. He couldn't shake the image of Hira alone in her wealth, locked in a chair that seemed to hold more than just her body. He wondered how someone so powerful could look so broken. The next morning, she returned. And the next. Soon, buying eggs became her ritual. Catherine never explained why, and Adam never asked. But with each visit, their conversations grew. She learned about Lily, about the wife Adam had lost to illness, about the battles he still fought in his sleep. He learned about her accident, a car crash that had stolen not only her legs but her sense of living. One morning, Catherine surprised him by asking, "Do you believe in miracles, Adam?" He chuckled softly. "I've seen enough to know they exist. But they don't always come how we expect." Her eyes glistened, but she said nothing. Weeks passed, and something began to change. Catherine started joining Adam and Lily for small walks, or rather, rides through the park. She laughed at Lily's silly jokes, found herself breathing in air she hadn't noticed in years, and watched how Adam lived with gratitude despite having so little. It stirred something inside here, something long buried. But then came the storm. One evening, reporters caught Catherine at Adam's humble home. Headlines exploded: "Billionaire CEO seen with egg seller scandal or sympathy?" Her board of directors demanded answers, questioning her judgment. Investors threatened to pull out. Catherine sat in her office, furious tears running down her face. "They'll never understand, Adam. To them, you're just a broken bar beneath me. To them, I'm weak for even being near you." Adam stood quietly, then said, "Maybe they don't need to understand. Maybe what matters is what you choose to fight for." His words echoed in her heart. The pressure mounted. Catherine faced a choice: protect her image or embrace the one person who saw her not as a billionaire, not as a woman in a chair, but simply as Catherine. She chose. At the next board meeting, she rolled to the front and spoke with fire in her voice. "You call him an egg seller. I call him a man who taught me dignity. You call me weak for loving him. I call it strength. If that costs me my company, so be it." The room fell silent. For the first time, she felt free. But the true miracle wasn't her courage, it came later. One morning, Adam arrived at her mansion with Lily. Catherine greeted them, as always, in her chair. But Adam noticed her trembling hands gripping the wheels. "Something wrong?" he asked. Her eyes shone. "Adam, broken bar. I stood this morning. Just for a few seconds. The doctors said it was impossible, but a broken bar." She broke down, tears of joy spilling as Adam knelt beside her. It wasn't just her legs that had begun to heal up, it was her heart. The love, hope, and laughter she'd rediscovered with Adam and Lily had awakened something in her body that even doctors couldn't explain. Step by shaky step, she fought her way back. Not to prove anything to the world, but because she finally believed she was more than her pain. Months later, Catherine walked slowly, but proudly down a small aisle in a simple garden. There were no flashing cameras, no headlines. Just her, Adam, and Lily standing together as a family. As vows were spoken, Adam whispered to her, "You thought I healed your legs. But Catherine, you healed something in me I thought was gone forever." And she smiled, knowing that was the real miracle. The story ends with this truth. Sometimes, healing doesn't come from medicine, money, or miracles. It comes from love, humility, and the courage to let someone truly see us. And when two broken souls meet a broken bar, they can make each other whole again.